Watch. Lamar Odom wants to reunite with ex Khloe Kardashian. New body, new botched appearance. The one and only Justin Jedlicka, aka the Human Ken doll, made his return to the E! Series on the February 22 episode, reuniting with doctors Paul Nassif and Terry Dubrow not to ask for their help with a plastic surgery gone wrong, but to brag about one gone right. I am back to show off to the doctors my 8-piece leg implant surgery, Justin declared at the beginning of tonight's episode. This was, like, the last virgin section of my body to give up. The Botched docs were already aware of his desire to sculpt his legs because they advised him not to do so 8 months prior. However, in spite of this, along with the fact that Dr. Dubrow referred to the potential procedure as next-level risk, Justin went ahead with the surgery. And much to his delight, it was a success. As he put it, even when they told me I couldn't, I still won. I am definitely on a high and I just want to show off to the doctors, Justin added. Checking in with Dr. Nassif and Dubrow kind of feels like checking in with your parents. They tell you the things you're not supposed to do and then you go do them anyway. They don't have to love it, but they have to love. Watch. Human Ken doll reveals he micro-needled his what? Overall, the Botched docs were impressed. As Dr. Dubrow told Justin, I am so happy that even though we didn't want you to do the procedure, you did it and really only had minor complications. Justin's legs weren't all he had to show off though. During his conversation with doctors Dubrow and Nassif a few months prior, he revealed he recently had scrotox. Referencing the procedure, which is exactly what it sounds like, injecting Botox into your scrotum to increase the size, Dr. Dubrow joked, I know what I am getting Paul for his birthday this year. See it all for yourself by watching the full episode of Botched here. And scroll through the photo gallery below to see tonight's other plastic surgery transformations along with all the past before and after pics. A rock star's return to glory. Musician David underwent 3 different surgeries only to be left with a disfigured eye. It took a risky procedure to fix, but the Botched docs worked their magic just like they always do. A messy mommy makeover. Tatiana was swindled into receiving a full-blown mommy makeover that nearly ended her life when she was just 20 years old. Thankfully, the Botched docs were able to fix the near-fatal mistakes and restore Tatiana's confidence in the process. Dream come true. Flesh-eating bacteria destroyed Edna's nose as a young child, and her dad was so determined to get her the proper help that he relocated their entire family to the US. Now that Dr. Nassif and Dubrow have worked their magic, I can live free for the first time in my life, Edna said. Janky boobs be gone. Piper had a frightening experience with ketamine while undergoing her first breast augmentation, resulting in what she called janky boobs. However, the Botched docs were able to fix everything. 4 nose jobs later, Kadeen underwent 3 surgeries in an attempt to get the nose she wanted, but since the doctor who performed them may have not even had a medical license, the procedures only made things worse. Thankfully, doctors Nassif and Dubrow were able to not only correct the issues from the previous surgeries but deliver the nose of Kadeen's dreams. Float trip fail. A freak accident during a float trip almost cost patient Caitlin her leg. While she was lucky enough to get her injured knee treated at the time, it turned out to be a short-term fix. That was, until the Botched docs stepped in and saved the day. Now, she's living pain-free. Bye-bye ballsack foot. Upon meeting the Botched docs, Destiny joked that she had a ballsack on her foot. In reality, the growth was the result of a rare affliction, so rare. Thatch became the subject of a medical journal report when she was just 13 months old, known as a lipoblastoma. Thankfully, Dr. Dubrow was able to greatly reduce the size. A complicated commissuroplasty. All Padia wanted was to get her life and identity back after a surgeon accidentally made her mouth opening smaller. Much to her delight, the Botched docs were able to help. Beast of burden. Jasmine felt self-conscious about a beast birthmark running from the back of her ear down her neck. From itching to sweating, the birthmark was a major inconvenience for Jasmine, and also a possible health risk if it kept growing, according to Dr. Dubrow. With the help of Dr. Nassif's ingenious tissue expander idea, Jasmine was rid of her birthmark once and for all. Past life complaints. Aya received calf implants 17 years ago after having a breakthrough past life immersion experience. Admittedly obsessed with how her legs looked, Aya realized that she was suffering from a subconscious memory from her past. In my past life, I was a German soldier, Aya explained. I was on the battlefield and something blew up next to my legs. Yet, after getting her implants, she was faced with some present life problems. All I wanted was bigger calves, and now I have deformed purple legs, she complained. They look like they came from another human being. She taped down her legs to compress them, and also revealed that her right leg felt like it was on fire. Dr. Dubrow realized that Aya's implant was bent on itself and harming her nerves. Both implants were removed, and Aya could see her natural legs. Once again, a giant chin. Yasmin was fed up with her lumpy and bumpy chin, which she called her giant. At age 14, Yasmin had surgery that took fat from her stomach to reconstruct her chin following an accident. Yet, Yasmin remained self-conscious of the bottom half of her face for years. Dr. Nassif tightened the skin around her chin to smooth the contours and also lifted up the tissue to fix Yasmin's slightly droopy mouth. It was yet another success story for the doc. Reconstruction rescue. Shanna was checked for the BRCA2 gene following her father's Paget's disease diagnosis for the male equivalent of breast cancer. Shanna underwent a double mastectomy in 2014, but her reconstructive implants were not properly expanding. Dr. Dubrow quickly realized that Shanna still had remaining breast tissue, which put her at risk of contracting breast cancer. Thankfully, he removed all of the tissue and Shanna could breathe easy with her new and improved hot mess nose. Real estate agent Christy fell for retail medicine at its worst when it came to her 2-for-1 rhinoplasty procedure. Her past doctor blamed her defective cartilage, but Dr. Nassif is determined to fix Christy's slanted nose. Yet, her procedure comes with a slight surprise while she's under the knife drive. Nassif dealt with unexpected booze thanks to Christy's alcohol intake leading up to her surgery. This probably will not be the last time a white claw gets me in trouble, Christy joked after her nose job. But I just see what I feel like should have been on my face my entire life. Consider her surgery a huge success. Coral reef relief. Lifelong professional surfer Bruno has been suffering from 2 mystery masses for years. Thankfully, his pathology results came back negative for cancer, but drive. Dubrow and Dr. Nassif were still baffled by the barnacles and coral-like tissue that they removed from Bruno's chest. At least he's back doing what he was. Medito do. Riding the waves. Lumpy, nose woes. Brittany got a nose job as a teenager without telling her mother, leaving her with an Owen Wilson nose. Dr. Nassif realized Brittany's bones were straight, but it was her cartilage that had deviated over the years. Despite the risky surgery, Dr. Nassif put Brittany's nose back intact. I am so happy, Brittany beamed. I am beginning to love myself more. Low butt gone wrong. Juliana wanted a plump rear like Jennifer Lopez and following her weight loss, but multiple visits to a doctor in Colombia only left her with a deformed behind that put her on the brink of divorce. Thankfully, Dr. Dubrow was there to remove all implants and silicone injections, and help put Juliana back on the pot off a natural butt. Wrestling an asymmetrical nose. Sarah felt self-conscious after breaking her nose at age 8 during a wrestling match. Yet the competition was only the half of it. Sarah's possible body dysmorphia disorder took root while comparing herself to her triplet sister. Dr. Nassif thankfully fixed Sarah's nose so she could be proud of her new look. Bobbing for Baywatch boobs. Deanna was hoping for a Pamela Anderson look with bouncing Baywatch breasts, but she instead got 2 rotten apples with a bite taken out of her chest. Yikes. Despite Deanna's freak show bosom, Dr. Dubrow recrafted her breast implants to be more shapely. Fixed parrot's beak. After 3 failed surgeries, Yesenia thought her nose looked like it was smashed against a window permanently. Dr. Nassif treated her collapsed nostrils. empty nose syndrome and former parrot-like nose, so Yesenia could finally get the before and after photos she dreamed of. Dented booty call. Takima suffered from a misshapen behind after a tummy tuck, butt implants and Brazilian butt lift. Thankfully Dr. Dubrow crafted new cheeks for Takima to feel confident after losing her basketball-sized dunkum rear end. IU disaster. David is convinced his mother's IUD was the cause of his misshapen nose. Thankfully Dr. Nassif can reconstruct it so David can be headache-free and breathe. Flapjack breasts. Firefighter Jody underwent multiple breast augmentation surgeries that ultimately left her with a deflated chest. Thanks to Dr. Dubrow, Jody now feels like a woman again after receiving the correct implant size. Rocky nose nonsense. Jessica couldn't breathe after 3 failed surgeries to fix her Rocky Mountain Range nose. Thanks to Dr. Paul Nassif, Jessica's nose was fixed just in time for her to return to her hiking hobby. Tummy tuck terror. Newly divorced single mom Maritza underwent a risky tummy tuck and liposuction procedure in Mexico that resulted in her losing her belly button. Dr. Terry Dubrow reconstructs both her stomach and her confidence in a shocking procedure. Shark bite-sized gaping hole. Donnie was living in fear after a severe car accident left him with a shark bite-shaped gash on his left side. Thanks to Dr. Dubrow, Donnie underwent a tummy tuck type procedure to remove the skin graft, just in time for shirtless summers again on the beach. Nose from hell. This patient needed a nose job from the inside out, but after a severe lupus flare-up, she finally was ready to breathe easy for the first time in years. Havia Dr. Nassif knows. She later joked to her husband. Back from Whoville, Holly couldn't help but joke before her wedding day that she looked like she belonged in Dr. Seuss' fictional Whoville town after an accident left her with a broken nose and a botched nose job. Even Dr. Paul Nassif was left speechless after examining her nose that was missing serious amounts of cartilage. Yet the top doctor knew how to piece her nose back together again just in time for Holly's big day. Armpitties disaster. For patient Samantha, it was impossible not to sweat the small stuff. After giving birth, Samantha seemed to have grown a second set of breasts under her armpits. Dr. Terry Dubrow at first tested to see if there were thyroid complications, but after her results came out all clear, Samantha underwent liposuction for her pits. The mother of 2 finally got to wear the sleeveless wedding dress of her dreams once she felt confident enough to show off her arms again. Nose leeches. Louise traveled across the pond to meet with Dr. Nassif. According to the new patient, a bike accident and several surgeries resulted in her septum fully deviating to the left. Since Louise's surgery with Dr. Nassif was her 4th surgery, her blood supply wasn't great. Thus, Dr. Nassif called for leeches to be used on Louise's nose to help her heal. Thankfully, Louise was happy with the results. Melting mounds. New patient Annie turned to Dr. Terry Dubrow after 3 breast surgeries left her with melting mounds. After being diagnosed with diabetes, the California resident decided to undergo the gastric bypass procedure. While the weight loss procedure helped Annie drop 100 pounds in 6 months, it caused her boobs to essentially vanish. In order to fix this problem, Annie received a lift and an augmentation, but was left with 2 different sized implants and excess skin. A second surgery to right this botched boob job left Annie worse off than she was before. A 3rd surgery, by a different surgeon, was also ineffective. Although Annie's case was high risk, Dr. Dubrow agreed to the surgery and used surgical techniques he invented to give the patient breasts she could be proud of.